Hey, Sawadee Kop everybody. It's Coach Matt with Easton Muay Thai. We're going to get into our warm-up that I like to use for pretty much every Muay Thai exercise or training session that I'm going to do. Keep in mind, before this, if you guys want to add some dynamic flexibility, if you like running before, if you like rowing, different things there, please feel free to add whatever you'd like. I like to jump right into our jump rope rounds. Okay? So first thing, I like to start with 3 2-minute rounds on the rope with about 30 seconds off in between. Whether you have a time clock, whether you want to keep time on your phone, pretty simple to stay along with our jump rope. So as we're going, right, the goal here is essentially simulating that we're in our stance, right? So I'm not trying to be the fastest, trying to do the hardest. I'm trying to wake my feet up. I'm keeping my hands like a fist. This seems kind of small, but if you've been in my class, you know I harp on it a little bit, not having your thumbs out. I want you guys basically as if we had closed fists. So when we're doing this, try and kind of clench and work on your grip muscles as well. So I'm just nice and simple for 2 rounds, going at about this pace on the balls of my feet, okay? It's important here that 1, you jump a little better than me, and 2, that you're waking up your ankles and just kind of getting your whole body going. So I might do some side to side, right? I might do some high knees in between, twists in between just to keep it going. The last 10 seconds of every round, I want you to try to sprint. So that's where I'm 1 single hop over every time the rope goes. I'm going to spike the heart rate a little bit after every round. In between rounds, it's just 10 squats, pushing on the balls of our feet, 10 push-ups. Whatever time I have left on that 30-second rest, that will be my time to take a few deep breaths, get right back into it. So 3 2-minute rounds on the rope, 10 and 10 push-ups, some squats in between. Right from there, into shadowboxing. Again, I like to use 3 2-minute rounds, gradually increasing the speed. Okay, I might start with just upper body techniques to start, focusing on my core, everything else. Start adding my lower body weapons, different things. And again, same idea. I'm starting pretty bare bones, moving, working balance, until I get up to where I'm using all of my different weapons. Okay? So, pretty simple for my Muay Thai warm-up. I like to do some dynamic flexibility. Hop on the ropes for 3 rounds of shadow boxing. Last round at 100% speed with 15 sit-ups in between those rounds as well. And you should be ready to go. Kop kun kop, you guys.
What's up, Easton? This week we got some boxing. We're going to start with using our pivots off of our punches. Right, so the first way that we're going to do this is my partner is going to hold the jab for me. I'm going to land my jab. As I pull it back, my partner is going to walk towards me. I'm going to take a step to the side so my head gets outside the shoulder, and now I'm just going to pivot my back foot around so that I'm facing my partner. And while we're doing this, let's try to get full 90s. Full 90s isn't always going to happen in a fight, but if we exaggerate things while we're drilling, it becomes a little bit easier when we're at that fight pace. The other one we're going to do is we're going to go off the cross. So I throw my cross. This one's going to feel a little bit more uncomfortable. I throw my cross, and as my partner steps towards me, I'm going to step almost to southpaw. So I step across, almost like I'm going to my other stance, but now all I'm going to do is turn my feet back so that I'm facing my partner again. So one more time, when I throw this, I throw my cross, I step off like I'm going to southpaw, but I'm not really going to go here. When you speed it up, it doesn't really feel the same as this. I'm going to rotate around, and now I'm facing my partner again. Now when I'm going a little bit more full speed, I throw my cross, and I do my little shift and pivot. So I just turn my shoulders a little bit. This gets my head outside of the punch. So if she threw a jab, my head's getting outside, and now I have my opening for my cross, or I can just turn on my new angle. So the first one we go jab, I step outside, and I get my pivot, so I'm looking in the ear of my partner. Then I'm going to go with my cross. So do the same thing. I'm going to step off to the side and slide my feet, pivoting so that I'm facing my partner, looking in her ear. Then my partner can go. She's going to throw her jab. I walk towards her. She steps and pivots to the outside. Hit the cross. She steps and pivots to the outside. Now we can do this by ourselves if we don't have a partner. Me and Grace can just shadow this, right? I can throw my jab. As I pull it back, I'm going to step and slip on the same side as my hand. I throw my cross. As I pull it back, I step and slip, following the hand that I threw. Make sure that when we're doing this step and slip, that I'm leading with my hand. So if Grace does some weave, where I think she's throwing the jab, but she throws the hook, and I step out here, I've got my hand to cover me just in case. So that when I turn, I've still got shots, right? So whichever direction we go, I throw my jab, I go to step out, I lead with my hand, just in case this punch comes around to finish my pivot. So one more time, my partner goes jab, I walk towards her, she steps and slips to the outside. Hit the cross, steps and slips to the outside. And now you can go off of any punches you want here, but I would follow the hand you threw last. So if Grace throws the hook, she's gonna follow that hand to do her step and pivot. If she throws the rear uppercut, same thing, she's gonna step and slip to the outside, following the hand that she threw last. So if I throw my rear uppercut, I step and slip to the same side I threw the hand from. Same thing, if I threw my lead uppercut, I step and slip, following that hand. That's not always the rule, we can get into that as it gets more advanced, but the fundamental way to think of it is follow the hand you threw last. Next, let's talk about using some evasive footwork when our partner is trying to engage with us. Right, so when my partner is coming towards me, if I just stand here, she's able to come and attack me, right? If I just back straight up, she's able to continue attacking me as I back up. What I need to do is change the line so that she has to change her line. If I make a simple step and I step to the side here, Grace can't throw her punches at me as well anymore, right? It's not to say that she can't throw at me anymore. She still has options, but they're much more limited and predictable and a little bit weaker. So what she has to do is change her body position to face me. So if I can constantly make her do that, it's a lot harder for her to be able to attack me. So what we're going to do to do this is use the L step. So Grace is going to come towards me, and as she does, I'm going to take my lead foot and I'm going to bring it back. Notice when I move this foot, my head moves back. I'm going to use this like I would a switch kick, but I'm going to use that push that usually throws the kick to push me to the side. So as this lead foot comes back, it's going to push my other foot out. So she comes towards me, and I L step around her. Then I get into this circle in motion, right? When we're doing our warm-ups, when you circle in, it becomes this motion where my feet are squared. But I don't want to stay there very long because I'm not able to do any attacks from there. So when Grace comes towards me, I L step, and when I'm ready to, I bring this foot back in. But when I bring it back in, I'm in range to attack already. Right? So I go from Grace trying to hit me right now, she can hit me, right? She can touch me from here. When I bring my foot back into this L step, Grace can't hit me here. But as soon as I put my foot back forward, this moves my range again, and I'm able to land my punches again, right? So Grace comes towards me, I L step around. When I'm ready to, I can throw punches again. So let's say I want Grace to do the L step in a drill, I can just hold pads for her a little bit. I'll have her throw the jab, I walk towards her, she does the L step around, and then I hold 1, 2. So right when she gets back into stance, she can be striking again. So she can do this where I come to attack her, she jabs, gets out of the way. Right when she's ready, she attacks me again, and then she moves again. She hits the jab, I come towards her, she evades with the L step, and then comes back to attack. And then I can go. Whatever she calls, I throw, I do the L step, and when she's ready, I throw the next strikes. Right, so all we're doing is whenever my partner's coming towards me, I take my lead foot back onto my toe, and I use it to push off to the side to accelerate me into this little skipping motion. When I'm ready to attack again, I just place my foot back into my stance, and I'm ready to fire. Cool, so that's your L step. Next, let's talk about feinting. This is something that I worked on with Sean recently, Sean Madden, and it's really helped me the way that he identified the things that I should be looking for. I feint a lot, but this is to feint for a specific purpose. Right, so Grace right now is going to throw her jab. The key to feinting is establishing. So she's established this jab, and I have to defend or counter. And those are the things that she really needs to look for, is what defense or what counter am I going to use. If she throws this jab, and I'm parrying it, that's giving her a huge opening, right? So then she knows right away that she can go feint the jab. As I parry, this is going to open up her hook, and she can go hook cross. Right, the hook just to line up the cross. She throws the jab to establish it, she feints, and now when I parry, she reaches around for the hook and finishes with the cross. One more time, she lands the jab. Now she feints the jab. As I parry, she reaches around with the hook and finishes with the cross. The other big option that we can look for here is for them to be throwing back at us. Right? So it's important that we're balanced and we're able to defend or throw based on what they do. So when she's throwing this jab at me, Maybe every time she throws it, we'll have her throw it in this hand. I'm throwing the hook off of it. She's got to be balanced enough to either feint the jab and see the parry, or feint the jab and read the hook and be able to pull. Right? You see how she's got to be able to go in both directions. So being very balanced and relaxed is really important. Not overcommitting on the feint. She lands the jab, and she sees that when she jabs, I'm throwing the hook at her. Now she's going to feint the jab, and then when I throw my hook, she's going to pull her back foot back and come back with a cross. So one more time, she lands the jab. I'll do it here, sorry. Land the jab. I'm throwing the hook back at her. She's got a safe distance, so she's able to defend it. But she knows she can't follow up because I'm throwing at her, right? So now she's going to feint the jab, I throw the hook, and now she comes back with the cross right away. So our two options are feint the jab, or land the jab first, feint the jab to look for the parry, finish with the hook cross, or feint the jab, looking for the counter, and then coming back with your own counter, with the cross off of the pull.